Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Jack Lane. Welcome back to a brand new video. Been a while, but we're not going to dwell on that. We're actually going to just jump straight into the article for today. And this is all to do with Alex Cross. This entire month, I want to say, is dedicated to Alex Cross here at the channel. I'm going to probably be posting 1 to 2 videos about Alex Cross news and things that you guys didn't know, short-wise. There'll be loads of Alex Cross stuff coming out, hopefully, as well. But looking forward to it. So let's jump right into the news today. Alex Cross, Season 1 villain and their relationship to Alex, explained by James Patterson's adaptation star and creator. Cross lead star Eldest Hodge, Ishan Mustafa, and creator Ben Watkins teased the Season 1 villain and their relationship with the titular character. The upcoming thriller series is based on James Patterson's novels, centered on the iconic detective, and will debut on Prime on November 14th in 10 days' time. Hodge headlines Cross as the titular detective and forensic psychologist, alongside Mustafa as his partner and friend, John Sampson. John C.R. Jennings, Alonzo Talia, Samantha Walks, Caleb Elijah, Melody Hurd, Jennifer Wigman, Elise Munford, and Ryan Eggold, who plays the villain Ed Ramsey. So Ryan Eggold is the villain, and if you don't know who Ryan Eggold is, he did New Amsterdam, he was in The Blacklist. This guy plays a villain like no one else. If you actually saw him in The Blacklist, you know what I mean. He played a great villain slash friend to Reddington. Played a good adversary, so I hope he's a good adversary in this. During the recent interview with Screen Rant for Cross premiere, Hodge, Mustafa, and Watkins were asked about the parallels between their titular detective and villain. Hodge noted that Cross looks at evidence, an indicative sort of signature of the killer and their motivations, I should say, which makes his mindset into power. So the series antagonist needs to be someone formidable that can stand against Cross, and even to a degree beat Cross. Mustafa draws the competition of their relationship to Batman and Joker. This is what he says actually below. Aldous Hodge. So his investigation style, being a forensic psychologist, is first understanding the mind of a killer, which I think he does state. Most people look at the evidence and they start building off of there. But I think that Cross looks at the evidence as an indicative sort of signature of the killer and their motivations. He thinks about it from a very different perspective, which is what makes it special. That's what makes his mindset his superpower, is that he gets to live dangerously close to understanding the killer from a humane perspective. Because if you can't understand the human inside, you can't understand what drives them. So for every season, really what Ben Watkins, our creator, does brilliantly is that he knows he needs to create someone who is formidable that can stand against Cross. That can, to a degree, almost beat Cross. That may be a possibility, we don't know, but therein lies a challenge for Cross to step his game up and keep pushing. Amish Mustafa, yeah, they got to find that right Joker to his Batman. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know, Cross has already been renewed for a second season already before it's hit. So this is they're writing the second season script, it seems, and it seems that the creator has nailed the villain again from their perspective. Of course, I'm not going to say he's nailed it until I've seen it, because they can be going, oh, he's nailed it, and you watch it and you go, not really. But I really hope they have, for Ryan Eggold's sake. Watkins further explains the Season 1's villain Fanboy shares 2 similarities with Cross, one being the level of their intellect and drive, and the other being both charismatic and seductive, and also had a physicality. But unlike Cross, who uses his insight into people's nature to solve crimes, Fanboy uses it to lure people into his traps. The show creator stresses the idea with Fanboy is to remind people of how a killer could seduce you. So this is what Ben Watkins says. And yeah, I think there are 2 similarities. I wanted one is sort of level of the intellect and drive. I tie those together because you can see different varieties of intellect, but they both have a drive and intellect, and they're able to use that, and they're able to use people's own human nature against them. So Cross is using that to break people down in an interrogation or anticipate what their next move might be, and Fanboy is using it to lure people into his traps. So the other piece that was really important to me, and that is why I'm so glad we got Ryan Eggold to play the role. I wanted to sort of depart away from what I feel like people would have been doing with serial killers recently, which is making them all sorts fit the Hannibal Lecter mold, which they do. I wanted somebody that was charismatic and seductive and also had a physicality, so we wanted to look for someone who could pull that off, and Ryan Eggold had that. He had one thing else. He was coming off a show, people liked him, loved him in New Amsterdam. So I was like, if any fans from New Amsterdam come in there, there's going to be a sense of liking him, even subconsciously. Even if you know he's the bad guy, there's still a residual effect of you saw him before and you liked him, and I needed that because I want people everywhere now, and then across the course of the whole season to be reminded of how a killer could seduce you. That's a very interesting thing he said there. He hired Ryan Eggold because he did New Amsterdam, which everybody loved. And because I love this character, you're going to go into it. And I'm going to be the same. I'm going to go into this being like, I know he's not going to win, but I'd like him to. And it'd be interesting to see that part play off and how will they do that. Because clearly they're going, of course, he's Cross as a psychologist, and this is a very psyche show. Hodge further teases fanboys being Cross's toughest case to date because he is able to challenge Cross so much to a point where Cross even has to question himself. Fanboy is so well seasoned in the world he's in, which makes him very hard to catch. The two have a strange cat and mouse relationship where there's an understanding between the two top players, but Fanboy would also challenge Cross to up his game to further explain their almost fated dynamics. Mustafar again draws the comparison of what draws Batman to the Joker instead of robbers. Check out what they said down here. So this is what they said. This is their full thing. I would say generally, I think Fanboy is Cross's toughest case to date. That's something I love about it so much because he does challenge Cross so much to the point where Cross even has to question himself. That's not even stated in the article. However, there's a point where he questions Cross. There's a point where he has to really sit and really think, how am I doing things? How are things moving? Am I really at the top of my game here? And that's the thing I love about this sort of strange cat and mouse relationship going on because the killer is so well seasoned in the world he's in. He's so well protected that Cross has to really work to find a chink in the armor, and it's not as easy as he thought it was going to be. So all the way down to where we meet them in the end is first of all unexpected relationship that happens between the two, but there's an understanding between them that they were, whether he likes it or not. Oh, I see you, I'm at you, I respect, okay, now the game is on. Now he has to go from Cross to Supercross just to tackle this. As much about Alex Cross as it's about Fanboy. If you don't know, this first season, not connected to any of the Alex Cross books. I have, however, bought the first Alex Cross book on Kindle, so I'll be making my way through that once I finish off Bad Luck and Trouble for Reacher, which I want to finish off in a couple of days, but I'll finish off Along Came a Spider before the first season, I'm sure of it. But anyway, let's get straight back into the article. While Cross Season 1 Trader sees the DC homicide detective and his partner John Sams will track down a sadistic killer, what Hodge and Mustafar's comments further tease is Season 1 will center around the intricate dynamics and push and pull between Cross and Fanboy. It seems that the show is starting off with a very high stakes by introducing Alex Cross' toughest case to date. Not only that, the show will also focus around Cross's Fanboy special connection, through their shared skills and how that helps and possesses challenges for Cross. The understanding they share also suggests that this case is likely very personal to Cross, a point made all the more possible as he's still mourning the murder of his wife from a year prior to the show's start. This is his first wife, by the way, not his second wife in the books. Here is Ryan Eggold. He looks so good in this role. You can get that killer but human side to him. Batman and Joker share a very interesting connection, but the show's approach to Cross and Fanboy is likely similar to Hannibal approaches Will Graham and Hannibal Lecter's relationship by diving deep into what makes them special. Fanboy is unexpected because he's different from all the other killers out there. Even though the case is going to be a challenge and makes Cross doubt himself, their dynamics is teased by Cross's creators and stars almost feel that they are chess players who can meet each other at the same level. The understanding between the two would make the chase much more dangerous and thrilling. Yeah, I'm from reading that, from reading it, and you know, just a little discussion point here. I'm more excited about this show now than I was before. This show can do one of two things, and if it can make us like Cross and make us like the Killer, and make us second guess ourselves for liking the Killer, it's a massive hit. We already know there's gonna be a season 2, and we know this one isn't based off of any book from James Patterson. It's a brand new story, so fans of the books are going in not knowing the actual outcome to this. Could it be that they've got permission? Just gonna throw a little wild theory out here. Could it be they've got permission to reveal the murderer of Alex Cross's wife from Patterson, and Patterson's gone? Okay. If you think it's gonna, because that would be a huge plot twist. And I think then Patterson would write Fanboy in as a killer and just explain, and just, you know, I think he'd write season 1 as potentially the next book. I don't know. Maybe, you know, you'd have to change some things because the books run, I think, continuously on. I don't know. I haven't read the books. This is my first real introduction to Alex Cross. I'm going to watch the films, mind you, with Tyler Perry and Morgan Freeman. But yeah, I just look at this and I just think it's very interesting what they're doing here. And I thought this would be a great way to bring the channel back from that morbid place where I've been leaving it dormant for the last month. So Alex Cross 2024 starts in 10 days time. I'm excited. You guys excited? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell. I'm going for, I want to be cheeky. Let's go for 20 subscribers this month. Let's see if we can get the channel to 100 subs. But the only way that can happen is with your guys' help. So, drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, and I'll see you all later. And as always, stay cinematic. Goodbye for now.